Hi, it's John and welcome to the channel. Great to have you along today, 4:55 a.m. on Tuesday, February the 18th. I've got the big blue mug of coffee. Thank you so much for the love on yesterday's video. I think Mark Carney is an idiot. Very good. Lots of people have watched it, up to 30,000 people at this point. That means I'm going to do a whole series next week. Mark Carney is an idiot part 2. Mark Carney is an idiot part 3. Mark Carney is an idiot part 4. And you know, I think I probably would have lots and lots of material to do something like that. Now, today I'm doing something completely different. And I don't mean to be critical of the person I'm going to talk about today. This person considers themselves a libertarian. I think we're very much on the same side when it comes to politics. I'm not sure how old this guy is. I turned 60 on the weekend. I've been involved with politics for a long time. I don't spend all day on the internet watching politics. I don't have time for that. I don't want to do that. I wake up in the morning, I kind of read the news through the day, and I come up with an idea. Generally, when I wake up about 3 o'clock every day. And today, I woke up, and I was a little bit concerned about things I've been seeing online. And it's the defeatist attitude right now when it comes to the latest polls, when it comes to the conservatives. And honestly, I'm concerned about that as well. I really am. We knew there would be a rise in the polls as soon as Trudeau walked away and we started seeing some of the candidates come forward to run for the Liberal Party. But it's a little concerning when you start to hear people say that Mark Carney is the best person to run our country and to deal with Donald Trump. I don't believe that at all. I believe Poilievre is the guy. Now, the reason I'm doing this video today is because of things like this. Now, this is from X, and this is just one of a number of tweets I've seen like this over the last couple of days. Poilievre seems to be selling Canada to bring back the promise of mediocrity to Canadians. For many Canadians, that seems to be enough. He had my vote, but his liberal leanings as of late have me leaning towards no vote. So do you really think this is the way to victory and to changing your country for the good? Not voting at all? This is what I'm starting to read online. People are turning their backs on Poilievre because they seem to think he sounds like a liberal. Now, I'm going to point out somebody who I think is rather influential, has a bit of a following, and who I agree with on pretty much everything. But I think he's gone awry and he needs to straighten himself out. And here's the guy right here. His name is Marty Up North. And this is a fellow Albertan. I think he's a fellow separatist because I'm an Alberta separatist, and down here it says a libertarian. Now, I vote conservative. We have no real libertarian party here in Canada, but I consider myself somewhat of a libertarian. What does a libertarian want? They want more personal liberty, more freedom for people, and I agree with that 100%, but Marty's gone awry here, folks, in a big way, and he should know better. And I'm not picking on Marty. I don't think he gives a damn if I pick on him. I'm some guy who sits in his basement and does this once or twice a day, with less than 10,000 subscribers on my channel. But Marty, wake up. Let me read a tweet from Marty, okay? Sorry, folks, but his talking points are identical to the Liberals. He's talking about Poilievre, almost word for word. I like the guy and I want the Liberals gone, but his current strategy won't work. If both parties have an identical platform, then the voters will decide based on the personability, looks, and experience of the leaders. That's just a fact. It sucks, but Canadian voters are shallow, very poorly informed, and think of themselves as progressive. In a side-by-side comparison of Mark and Pierre, Carney wins every time in the mind of most voters. I don't understand the conservative strategy. Well, he's right on a lot of things here. You know, Canadian voters are shallow, very poorly informed, and think of themselves as progressives. That is true. But what exactly would you suggest Poilievre do, Mr. Marty Up North? And you've got it absolutely wrong. You say they have an identical platform. His talking points are identical to the Liberals. Well, yeah, they are, because the Liberals have stolen his platform. It's the other way around, pal. You do understand that, right? And before I get to the things that Poilievre have been talking about for almost 2 years that the Liberals have now taken from him, because that's what's happening, Marty. The Liberals have stolen Poilievre's platform, and the people who are shallow that you speak about are believing people like Mark Carney and Chrystia Freeland because they're shallow and stupid and ignorant. That's what they are. That's what liberals are. That's what progressives are. I call them regressives. What's the prize here, Marty? The prize is win. Now, I get the feeling, because I've gone through some of your social media stuff, that you're pissed off because Poilievre talks about reciprocal tariffs with the United States of America. I don't believe that's the right thing to do. But it's the right thing to say right now. I tend to believe what Danielle Smith did. Diplomacy is better. I believe she got us a reprieve from tariffs because she went and spoke to the Trump administration. But saying right now that you don't agree with reciprocal tariffs with the United States would be a death sentence for Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative Party. The diplomacy will come after you win, because that's the prize, pal. If he went out right now and said, I disagree that we have tariffs on the United States, if they put tariffs on us, it's over. It's over. Majority liberal government. Is that what you want? And you seem to think you have some type of influence on people online. Well, use your influence. What exactly would you like him to say that he hasn't said already? Because I don't see anything on your social media that makes any suggestions for him. Let's talk about a few things that he tweeted out this morning. Let's look at a tweet from this morning from Pierre Poilievre. Let me see if I can find it here. Here it is, 3:01 this morning. Everything conservatives said before the Trump tariffs is even more correct now. Axing the carbon tax. Yeah, he's going to do that. Now, the liberals say they're going to do that, but they're going to bring in another carbon tax. But those ignorant people, those shallow people who vote liberal, those so-called progressives, believe the liberals. They don't believe Pierre Poilievre, or they don't even know what Poilievre said because they watch the mainstream media. You have influence, pal, start influencing people. Scrapping the capital gains tax hike. Poilievre's been talking about that for ages. The liberals stole that from him. Repealing the anti-energy law C-69. Well, you know, the other day on the CBC, I did a video on this yesterday. Almost 30,000 people have watched that video from my tiny little channel. He just glossed over that when he was asked about C-69. Approving pipelines. Well, Mark Carney, he's all for pipelines now in Canada, but he's not. He's actually for pipelines in other places where he can make billions of dollars for him and his friends. He doesn't want them in Canada, but he's all for them now because they've stolen it from Pierre Poilievre. Celebrating not canceling our history. Well, I don't know where Mark Carney stands right now when it comes to, wokeism. But maybe somebody should ask him about it. But what other things has Pierre Poilievre talked about since he became the leader? Shit, I watched him at Spruce Meadows here in Calgary, Marty, fellow Albertan. Do you think the 2,000 people who showed up on a cold night when he was just running to be the leader of the Conservative Party are going to turn their backs on Pierre Poilievre because people like you think that he's sounding like a liberal? Cut immigration. Send people here illegally home. Reduce regulations, cut spending, bring down the debt, balance the budget, sell off unused government buildings, build homes, cut crime, get illegal drugs off the street, punish the dealers. No conservatives in the WEF. We could go on forever. He said so many things, and a lot of these things the liberals disagree with. You need to wake up, buddy. And maybe you should use your influence with other people who have influence on the internet. Again, I'm like small potatoes here on YouTube. I've got less than 10,000 people following me here. I don't do this all day long. I'm not following the news every minute of the day. I'm just having some fun. But maybe you should get together with some of the other influencers on YouTube. They've got more reach than the CBC does. Get Jasmine Lane, the pleb, Moose on the Loose. There's dozens of people who are conservatives who want to see a conservative government. Get them together and have them put together a video or do a town hall that hundreds of thousands of people can watch. Talk about how awful the Liberal Party's been for the last 10 years that you know about. Talk about how awful Mark Carney or Chrystia Freeland will be for this country. It'll be the same old, same old. And if the Liberals get in, you know it as well as I know it. We're done with the guy in the White House down south. We are done. This country has 4 years to straighten itself out, or we're done. Keep your eyes on the prize, folks. Keep your eyes on the prize, Marty. The prize is winning. Get the guy in power and then do what you want to do to make our country better. And that includes diplomacy with Donald Trump. And I think Donald Trump's hoping he gets a conservative government here. Anyhow, thanks so much. Hope you have a great day, everybody. Please subscribe to the channel. Please click on the like button. Please hit the notifications. And I'll see you in the next one.